Alright, everyone, good morning. A little late here to go over my trade. We got KPRX, multi-day bounce right out of the watch list. So, gotten a little late on this 640, 639 break. Executed at 646. I got 150 shares right now, looking for higher lows to add into. I do not at all like how big the spread is. That's why I still have very small size. In case this comes back, day low 609. I don't know if I want to risk that much. Probably would take it at 620 for the risk. So we'll see. Came back for this high break. That is the trigger for the momentum shift. But it doesn't have to happen, of course. We've taken losses on this pattern. I really would like to see more volume and a tighter spread right now. Not fantastic. Really runs the risk of just shutting down. Because right now, it's going to be between 37 and 55, the trades that go in. So it's going to be all over the place. So it tightens up. And here with the multi-day bounce, what we're seeing, you got the red day continuation, and as I mapped out, it continued to push lower, but barely. It had a very hard time cracking the 630 region, 620 area, where it had some support. And where to get to, it pushed down about 5%, the whole dollar, half dollar area at 6. So today I was really looking for the failure to break down at 6 to start pushing higher and set up the multi-day bounce. Really wish we had more volume because it is doing everything I'd like. So really would like to see the volume to come in and give this a nice burst. But that's what we're looking at for that momentum shift. Just small indications that momentum is moving in a different direction. Just looking for little differences. Holding key areas, failing to push lower. The only thing right now I wish there was a volume, as that would be a good indication if we go back on the 1 minute here. You see that buying that we have right now, not that significant. The buying that we had on, Friday was stronger. So right now, this is running the risk of getting stuffed. And if it keeps acting like this, honestly, I probably won't add it. Even though it's setting up, it's not setting up as an A plus setup. I would like to see more out of the multi-day bounce, a bit more volume, not just price action. Right now, I'm up nearly 30 cents, about 5% here. Come on, let's see what it should get to. 60% from previous close, 624 times 0.3 plus 6.24. Alright, so this should get to the low 8s. It's got some range. And there's that nasty spread. This is what I don't like. They're just looking nice, and now one trade it goes back down to 56. I'm looking pretty choppy right now. Just looking at this chart. And that's why I always talk about demand being the fuel to plays. IVDA, completely forgot about that, damn it. Nice hold of the 220 area. That's the breakout level. If I wasn't already busy with a position, I would be getting ready to be busy with this. Looking for a high day break or buying it into the higher lows as it's uptrending and continuing to hold the VWAP. Looking for a push to test 3. Right, pretty sure I was a plan on this one. Yeah, for a test of 3. Not too bad. Continue to make higher lows. Demand's not too bad compared to the selling pressure. Uptrending, confirmed the key level. This is looking good. Wouldn't be shocked to see this run up to the high 2s the next 5-10 minutes. But here we are back to KPRX, still waiting on this thing to push higher. It is making higher lows. That is kind of nice to see. I need more out of this. Come on. Up just a little over 4% right now. Nothing crazy. Would just be a scratch. A small size. And it's just part of the game sometimes. It doesn't always do what you want the way you want it. Everything perfectly. Sometimes it needs some time to develop, or whatever the case is. It just doesn't set up to how you think. Be patient, let the play develop, trust the key areas and your stop loss. Don't get carried away and just think about the money and then stopping out very quickly without really giving it a chance to continue to hold up and potentially squeeze. So unless this comes back to 620 area, I am looking to continue to hold. Oh, wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is wild. Huge panic. Not enough demand, I suppose. Let's take a look here. That was really. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was thinking, 12 million float. It's doing about 1 million. This could be setting up nicely. Looking at my phone, KPRX not looking good. Sorry to cut away from IVDA, but oof. Gotta pay attention to this one right now. That was annoying. So that higher low didn't have enough buying to push it even higher. And we got the stuff. We'll see how this holds up. But right now, considering the volume it's doing and it getting stuff, I wouldn't be shocked if this completely fails and we get a multi-day bounce to set up later in the week. That does happen. We saw LIXT last week, Thursday, complete dud for me. Huge fake out. And then the next day, brought it back, made back my losses on that trade. Do you want to take a look at X prime real quick? Nope. Not coming back. This one we're waiting for the 390s, 4-ish area to confirm the support as it breaks through. Solid area here in the high 3s, 4-ish area. So just a waiting game for now. So far it's downtrending. Would probably just set an alert and wait to see if it comes back. BBBY continues to push lower, not setting up for the bounce. Okay, keep an eye on HILS. This is a multi-day bounce here. High day 184 or 186. Alrighty, that red candle high break continues. I really like this double bottom right here. Nice setup. Showing it's failing to break down. Got a little bit of a gap up right out of the wash list for a bounce play. So if we get a confirmation of that 186 high break, that's the trigger. I know 30% is around the low twos for this play, but as we've seen, if it does have enough momentum, it can burst higher. And the way this is setting up now, I think we can get at least a quick little push into the low twos to give an angle for 15-20%. Really don't want to be in two positions at once. This one's looking really good though, way better than what I'm in right now. Yeah, this one's not looking great. Weak bounce right now after that pullback. We'll see if it holds up, but right now I'm expecting my stop loss to get executed pretty soon. See the volume building up. Double bottom, reclaims VWAP, and here we are at new highs. This one's gonna hurt if this just shoots up. Which it can. It's got a low float, low market cap. We saw the way it moves on the way up. This is a pretty strong mover. That was what I'm trying to show. But it has volatility, is essentially what I am trying to show. It can move pretty quickly. So in one day it has massive moves, usually overnight. So we'll see how this sets up. It does have a whole dollar, half dollar, level of 2 up ahead, so that could either be bad for it and it could get stuffed there in the around 206, which is about 30% from previous close, or if it breaks that area, that really gets some shorts emotional and locking in their profits, and that could give it a nice burst up into the 230s, 240s. But right now, that volume exhaustion, kind of suspicious. Need to see the confirmation with a higher low. And that's why sometimes I prefer to wait for the confirmation and not buy it right at the break. Sometimes, you do miss a play because of it. But I find myself a lot of times just being a little bit more patient, waiting for a better setup. Sometimes you do see them just fail and you're like, oh, no play. I think I didn't risk my money on that. Got two examples here of multi-day bounces, one with a bit of volume behind it, and one that's doesn't really have any and is just kind of crapping the bed right now. Looks like it's using VWAP as resistance now. Just an annoying play. Coulda, shoulda, woulda been more patient. Here's this one holding up. Selling pressure fading off on this second red candle here. So that looks encouraging. Right around the high break, holding up a light selling pressure. If buyers keep coming in, it's looking good. I chose the boring one. It was looking good. This is why we combine price action and volume. It's not just one side of it. Because I was focused a bit more on the way it was breaking out instead of how it was, with not enough volume behind it, and learning my lesson here. Just a boring play, quick fake out so far. Here's that hills as we saw. Very light selling pressure as it's trying to fade, hold around a key area. Dipped a little lower to the 182 region, but that's only pennies off. It held that general range of the high day, kept holding VWAP, and I'm thinking this should give us a nice push higher. Sucks I'm not going to be playing this. But right out of the watch list, this is what we're looking for. What do we got here with tops? Low float, low market cap. Looking like an open price VWAP reclaim after a failure breakdown at the open. It's actually a pretty nice setup on the confirmation here. Getting this in the 160s, I'd be dumping it now. Pretty solid setup. Yeah, first green day. Had some resistance in the 160s, but not really any volume behind that area to make it, really significant, to make me think it might get pushed down. The volume that we got today and the lack of volume on the day, what we're looking at on the breakout, good odds of a push higher. Not bad play here. There's ACOUL. This one, oh, I remember looking at this. I ignored it. A little bit of a larger market cap and float for me. I was expecting it to be a choppy, slow mover, and here we are. This is what I expected. These plays, this is why I usually ignore them. They need so much volume to really get moving, give you a nice, clean, lasting move. But as you can see, even with the history, it's had even on its run-ups, it's a slow, choppy run-up. This thing doesn't really have the volatility that I like, to where you can make solid profits within 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe even a little more than that. But that's the key, demand. And that's why I like it to be a lower float play, to where it doesn't need as much volume to get the play moving. X pawn. This one, as I mentioned, get ready for that high threes, four-ish breakout. Still waiting on that. Hill's having a hard time. Kind of shocking. Looked like it was really setting up nicely. I didn't think that 2 area would really hold it down that bad. But so far, that's what's happening. Oh, yay. Thing's trying to hold up. Just need to keep holding to prove there's a momentum shift. Right now, you got this possible downtrend, holding, making VWAP and hold dollar, half dollar area, a resistance area intraday. That doesn't look good combined with the no volume. This really should be something I just probably get out of and just break even. But I know it's going to be a small loss if I do lose. So I am willing to stick it through in case this does end up shaping up. Because those plays have happened where a play might consolidate for a little bit, failing to break down on light volume, and then all of a sudden it slowly grinds back for the high of daybreak. And then that's when the volume really starts coming in and it starts ripping up. So I've seen that happen many times before, which I guess is why I'm hanging on tight here. But I still have to say, it's frustrating. Been in this for about 20 minutes and nothing has really happened. Got a nice quick perk. That was quite the tease. And now looking crappy. See? These kinds of moves. Going from the 260s to 350s in a matter of half an hour maybe. Whatever that time frame is. That and that really, besides whatever you want to say about news and whatever the case, it's got a low float and it was doing insane volume. It was failing to break down, shorts were trapped, and you got that nice squeeze. So when you got a lot of people getting out at once, especially when there's a low float play, low supply, and a lot of the, if you don't know, if you haven't heard this, you're still new to trading. Short covering is buying. You got to buy to cover your short position. So when all the shorts get out, locking in their profits, it's gonna come up as buying. So they get trapped, fails to break down, they lock in their loss or break even, whatever the case, and when it all happens at once with a low float play, you have the possibility of a 20-30% move in a matter of an hour or less. So X pawn gonna be exciting. Here we are, about to break to new highs maybe. KPRX exhausting here. No volume, still widespread. V alone is going to be exciting when it sets the red day incredible push. Now we're gonna wait for the backside and look for the multi-day bounce later on. Longs had their way with it. A huge squeeze overnight, and now we'll let shorts take over as buyers disappear and sellers and shorts overpower the buyers. We should get the lower prices, and then we'll see whenever it starts failing to push lower, starts coming back for high day breaks, like what we're looking for on HILS, which is still holding up, not too bad, around that high break, making higher lows. That could threaten to push higher still, or some garbage like KPRX, where it held up but not enough volume. That 640 break, give a nice, a little over 5% push, just about, and now we're failing. So we shall see. So much of trading is just this, a waiting game, trying to be patient, not get emotional, just control your emotions. That's why I usually end up stepping away if it doesn't do what I want, put my stop in, peek at it every so often for a sell, or if I really don't want to look at it, I put my advance order where my sell should be for if I were to win or if I were to lose as a stop loss, and just let the computer do its thing. I know I have horrible patience, and I just try to work with it as best as I can. And right now, this is really frustrating. And it's not because I'm worried about profit adding to this or losing a lot. It's just I don't really like to have my attention multiple places usually, and I don't want to take another trade. So, wasting time and money on this one. An example of demand not coming through. You got a little over 10% move on this breakout over 220, and then it just plummets. Massive sellers come in, and we talk about the low float. You get solid moves to the upside. That also means you'll get aggressive moves to the downside as well. So when shorts took over and sellers or buyers disappeared, a low float play like this got destroyed. If we go to the daily chart, we already went over it. Just no demand at all relative to its history. And that's what we always talk about, looking for breakouts to have strong volume behind it. I usually like there to be around as much, if not more, volume than the day that it's set the high on that we're breaking over. Just to show the strength, in my eyes, it will need more momentum, more force to push higher. If that's what it had on this day to get it this high, I imagine if we're going to go higher, it should take some more. But yeah, no demand coming through today, and you get the fake out, something we always talk about. But I misread it, so I was kind of looking at this for a possible push higher, but totally didn't see how weak the volume was. Because, it's a low float play. At this rate, it's done 2 million already. At this rate, it could rotate the float. So I was thinking of it in that situation instead of really zooming out and seeing relative to its history, what is it doing, and it's not doing good. Hills, wow. Another exhausting multi-day bounce. I know with this one you can kind of argue it's already started his move. Previous close was 159. That makes 30%, right around 206 if I remember correctly. yeah, 206, 207. Um, and they got there pre-market all in this one move, and usually that kills the move. But the way this came back and failed to break down, I thought we might have some more in the tank to possibly give a higher squeeze. It is a low float play, but damn, just stick to your data. That's the lesson from this. Because I know I've seen plays that really run up past that 30%, that even after pre-market spike, they if they do hold up, they can move. I've seen it before, so I guess I was just trying to apply that here, but really stick to your data. I know how to trade these. I mention it all the time. I usually ignore if there's an after hours or pre-market push, an aggressive one like this, where it just takes off. In my eyes, all the shorts that I want to fuel the play are out at that point. And that's the thing. It doesn't mean that the play is over, but based off what we know, yes, it's likely over. And we're trying to stick with the odds. So if there's any anomalies that stick out and they don't do what we typically expect, that's all right. Don't let those taint your brain in what you know about this, because it's a slippery slope. Just trying to nail it all. Just stick to your data. If you miss a play, you miss a play. If you don't maximize as much, alrighty. If you plan on staying here for a while and trading for a long time, that's gonna happen a lot. There'll be another play, so just be patient, protect your money, and stick to what you know. I'm probably gonna give this another 5 minutes before I step away. And I know that's not what people usually expect when watching a live video lesson, but I'm also trying to show how I trade. Um, and this is part of it. I don't have the patience to sit behind a laptop all day. I got other stuff I want to do. I got to work on. So if this doesn't really do what I want here soon, like I said, I'll stick to my stop loss order and just walk away from this and come back. Usually midday I peak around 9:30, but I really come back for a trade around 11. I start 11:30. I start really looking for something for power hour. So I know we missed tops. MTC, that's another one. Few opportunities today. Oh wow. Yeah, completely missed this. Focus on my plays. Surprise, surprise. Open price. Reclaim. VWAP was much higher in this case. But you got the failure to break down. You got the push. Shorts get into this thing. Fails to break down. And you get the squeeze. I'm guessing there was no news. Okay. Very interesting setup here. Horrible play. One and done's in its history. So people were probably just expecting this thing to fail after they saw the gap up in the morning. They thought this would just fail. That's what this chart does on the daily chart. Any pop is a safe bet to bet against. And in this case, it just failed to break down. Imbalance in buyers and sellers led to this incredible 50% squeeze. Very fast. You see, that's the power of a low float play. You can get incredible moves very quickly. Dud of a morning. I already can't wait to trade later on if anything sets up. And that's the key. If anything sets up, no need to force anything. I don't know if this is just me being emotional, but I'm looking at this as a forced play. As I mentioned, the volume wasn't there. I was mainly focused on the price action, it holding 6 and coming back for that high break that it sets. But volume is the support of that move, and if it's not there, it's a suspicious play. It might not be a lasting push. But as much as I am talking crap about this thing and there isn't much volume, let's acknowledge this is still making a higher low. In the grand scheme of things, it's holding up and reversing what it was doing for the past couple of days. Um, so let's see if we can get just a hold up here in the low sixes for it to start making higher lows. Maybe that brings in the volume. But if that demand doesn't come back, this is going to be a bad play for the day. Good thing we have small size. Just 150 shares at 646. And I trade on my Thinkorswim app, so I don't use this. I only use this software for the charting. I like it the most for charting and scanners and whatnot. And a while ago, when I first started trading, I was on the Thinkorswim app, and I got used to trading on that. So decided to stick to executing trades that way, so I could keep my eye on both at the same time on my phone and the screen here. But of course, trade whichever way you'd like. And here's KPRX, like we said, trash. We'll give this another couple minutes. But right now, this is looking like it's going to fail. I get stopped out. Devastating to miss this. Kind of starting to get slow and choppy, but this whole move, that's the one. You don't need to nail the whole thing. Just take a decent portion of the move, the meat of the move, and move on. Let your singles add up. I'm usually taking about 10-15%. Lately, closer to 15, even 20, more so than 10. But I usually am aiming for my quick single. Nothing more. Not trying to be too greedy. I've gotten greedy in the past, and it's bit me in the ass. Lost a lot of money. Getting emotional after building my account and doing so good. I got a little too confident. Started taking bigger size and letting plays um, run a bit more to both sides. I would get a play that would run up and I would give it too much time and it would just come back and end up being a loss, or I would have such a belief in that I'm right that I would let my risk trail on for a little bit longer than usual, and that would end up in bigger losses. So the whole game here, we're trying to protect our money and make more. So that's why I prefer to just take quick singles, not get too greedy, and let it add up. Because right now, I got just a bit over 9K account, and I'm still taking small size positions, but it's adding up. I'm on track to make 100% of my account within 2 months of the year. So at that rate, I could be at 120K by the end of the year. So not trying to shoot for that, just trying to take it a trade at a time, see what is there provided, and not force anything, just so I can reach my dollar amount that I want. So that's why I'm enjoying taking the smaller size positions and having a harder time sizing up, and just taking my 200, 300, sometimes 400, 500, and letting it add up. and cutting my losses quickly. But yeah, I'm getting fed up here, so I will update you all on how this turns out. Sucks it wasn't a great video lesson. I want to say it wasn't great. There's still something to take away from this. It's just not super exciting. Not seeing an easy quick play like LIXT on Friday, where that was a nice video lesson going over that trade live. I guess it's a recording for you guys. Right, just want to go through, see if there's anything I'm missing. Just a couple plays moving. MTC, we already looked at that, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that was right in my face, that's the one, okay. Multi-day bounce, no volume. We're getting nothing here on the bounce plays today. KPRX hanging on a dear life. Alrighty, so I'll tweet out how this goes. Wish this was a video lesson where you could see the ending, but we really don't know how long this is going to take, and I'm not looking to stick around forever here just staring at nothing. Part of that is my fault for getting into this play when it doesn't have much going for it. I only had a couple things, didn't check off all the boxes. So some decent lessons on how to approach plays and how important demand is, as we saw KPRX here, as well as sticking to your data and not getting too emotional. HILS in this one did what we usually look for, so I shouldn't have even been looking at this for a possible setup. I was just seeing this build up and increase in demand and thought, oh, this thing still wants to hold up. Let's try to just catch some of the move maybe, but I was already in another play. But that would have been my thinking if I wasn't in another play. So this would have been a quick little fake out. So stick to your data. 30% on average is a play. It's a spike from previous close. And if the play happens pre-market or after hours, quickly like this, the fuel is usually gone for the play. So don't get emotional trying to see in case the fuel isn't gone and there's still people trapped and you're looking for a squeeze higher. Yeah, stick to your data, stick to your plays, what you know. Oh, I get stopped out here. That's disgusting. So maybe you will see the ending. So yeah, I guess that is it, really. Besides that, here's the opposite we're talking about. Here's the lesson on how strong demand in a low float play can really set up for a nice squeeze. Completely missed this. Looking at garbage bounce plays today. It happens. You're not gonna nail them all, but this is a solid pattern of mine. Open price, view upper claim. Just unfortunate it was missed. Why is my phone not going off? Alright, so I got out. I'll round it down, 618. So yeah, not a horrible loss considering the size I had. Um, you know, less than $50 loss. Stuck to my stop loss. So let me map this out here actually for you guys so you can see it. Okay, so unfortunate to see it not work out, but hey, this is what we always talk about. Cutting your losses quickly, managing your loss. I had small size. I didn't add because I didn't see what I wanted. So when it did end up going against me, I have a $42 loss. That's so manageable. That's what we look to have. Just keep your losses small and your gains much larger, and over time you will walk away profitable. So who knows how much lower this can go? That's why we sell it and let it do its thing. Maybe it continues to hold 6, comes back tomorrow. Shit, maybe it comes back today. Who knows? But right now, as we see, not enough demand to push this thing higher. Just a fake out bounce today, and we've seen those LIXT last week. Go over this. Had the loss here on the fake out, pushed lower, but ended up trying to come back. And that next day, Friday, got back that loss on it. So no need to get emotional. Taking losses is part of the game.